Hello to all of my fellow home service business owners out there. This is Kent Bowl, business and sales coach. I wanted to come on here and make this video because I'm hearing a lot of slow call volume happening throughout the country in all trades. Now, I grew my business the quickest and fastest during the last recession, 2008 to 2013. I was electrical only at the time. But I was able to grow and was very profitable while most companies were closing their doors or downsizing. And I just want to give you a quick thing. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of things you could do, but I'm just going to give you a quick rundown, kind of like a overall picture of if you want to succeed and if you want to grow through a down economy, these are the tips and tricks that work. Okay. First of all, maximize your advertising budget. Most people cut advertising in a down recession or a down economy. Maximize it out. 15% of your revenue for plumbing and electric should go towards advertising. 10% for HVAC. Okay? Now, having said that, we can't be stupid about this. So I, working with you, would provide you with a spreadsheet, and the way you fill that out is we need to know how many calls we're getting from a certain campaign. We need to know the revenue that we're getting from that campaign, and we need to know how much that campaign cost. If we have those three pieces of information, we know if that campaign is actually working or not. And as long as we're asking our customers over the phone, or we're using tracking numbers or coupons with codes, there's many different ways of doing it. But if we have a way to track where the calls are coming from, and we know what revenue we're getting from them, we know what's working. And then every month or two, or maybe every 3 or 4 months, we're getting rid of the worst campaign and we're putting that money towards the best campaign until we maximize them out. And we just keep doing that. But we don't end. We continue doing this. All right? Now, the other thing is, if we're going to spend all this money on advertisement, we need to book every call that comes into our business. A lot's changed during the game. I mean, a lot of best practice groups, your Nextstars, your SGIs, your Service Roundtable, they say, well, you charge a diagnostic fee or a travel fee to get to people's homes. With the price of advertising and how complicated it is and how much money we're putting towards it, I think we're at the point we should probably get rid of that. Now, the reason we did that was to qualify the customer to be a client of ours, right? We don't want tire kickers. We don't want the cheapest person, so we give this travel charge out so that doesn't happen, right? Well, if you follow my call-by-call sales model, we're starting to qualify the customers in the home, boots on the ground, and not doing it over the phone. We found it's much more lucrative by doing it this way, but it's a new sales process that you may not be used to. But the point is using a waterfall travel charge system. So example is $195 first in line, $75 guaranteed morning or afternoon, $45 you wait around all day. Which one works best for you, Mr. Jones? If they don't go for one of those, okay, well, how about this, Mr. Jones? Let's do the $45, and if you go ahead with the work, we'll waive the fee. That way you're not out anything. If that doesn't work, all right, well, Mr. Jones, I can go ahead and give you that complimentary. I got authorization from my manager, and we'll go ahead and give that up, that visit complimentary. All right, so we're going to people's homes for $0 if we need the calls. Now, if we don't get to those people, we're telling them we're not guaranteed, so we're going to bump them to the next day, right, to make sure tomorrow is full. Because if there's anything I've learned in a down economy, it's one day you'll have a ton of calls, and you might go 2-3 days with no calls. So we got to book every single call we possibly can book when they come in for the same day, and then we bump the most unlucrative calls to the following day. All right. Now, if you're going to book all these calls, we also have to open up our schedule to accommodate people. I would highly suggest opening up same normal rate Saturday and Sunday service as well as evenings. This was a game changer for my company in the last recession. Customers love when you come to their homes in the evenings, and they love when you come out on weekends. And I ran those calls personally, and I loved them because I usually got in front of both decision makers right away off the bat, and I could get larger sales closed. All right? All right, what else do we got here? You could do 4 on, 4 off, right? You have a team that runs 4 days a week, and then a team that runs the other 4 days a week. And it's 4 on, 4 off. That way you're running 7 days a week. You're only using half the amount of vehicles because they can share vehicles, and you're covering a larger portion of the day plus weekends. Again, I can talk to you more about that. All right. Then your sales system. You better have a documented sales system of how every person in your company is going to run a call. If you don't, they're all just winging it, and they're all doing it separately, and one guy is great, and the other person is not so great, and it's all over the board. You need a documented sales process. I've been told my sales process is one of the best in the country. I haven't found anything better, but that's what I was told. Then you need call-by-call management. Somebody needs to make sure these technicians are following the process every single time. And to make sure that we do that in an efficient manner, we use something called remote ride-alongs. So we use software technology to make sure the technicians are following the process, and we're stopping them in real time and directing them if they're not following the process, or they're maybe tripping over an opportunity they don't even know about. All right? Make sure your company has 15-year financing. If people don't have money, lower payments make all the difference. There are companies out there I can help you get in touch with that will do 15-year loans on electrical, plumbing, and HVAC. And probably garage doors and pools and anything else, all right? Now, after we maximize our budget and we're actually tracking the marketing dollars, we got to make sure that we're also getting more leads because that still may not be enough to fill your schedule. So we got to get back to grassroots marketing, cheap marketing. Remember, in business, you either have too much time or too much money. Usually people have more time than money starting out, and as they're doing better, they have more money than they have time. Depends on which category you're in, but you usually fall in one of the two. All right? Grassroots marketing. All right? BNI groups, Business Networking International. If you don't know what it is, look it up. Make sure that you can get in touch with an insurance agent that sells home insurance. Do a mailing campaign with them. You'll do a free plumbing inspection, a free electrical inspection, a free air conditioner tune-up, a free furnace tune-up if they put the mailer out to all of their customers. Join your local chamber. Door knocking works. That's a whole nother strategy we can talk about, but that works. Refrigerator magnets, right? People still use those, believe it or not. If you're an electrical, partnering with hot tub, pool companies, partnering with car dealerships for electric vehicle chargers, partnering with lighting showrooms to hang light fixtures and do lighting jobs and sell dimmers, etc., etc. All right? I used to give the salespeople there $50 per lead and $100 per close lead to the salespeople. I'd walk into lighting stores with stacks of Visa gift cards, and I'd be handing them out left and right, and they're giving me leads, and they're cheap, and they're referred from the lighting store. Angie's List. There is a way to use Angie's List in a way that isn't a waste, usually. All right? There are certain tasks you can pick that are cheap, and you only get the ones you want. Again, a whole nother topic we could talk to. If you are a one-trade company, you only do electric, you only do plumbing, you only do HVAC, find somebody who does the opposite trade with you and market to each other's customers. I've even heard of people creating a magnet with all 3 company logo on it with one phone number to call for HVAC, plumbing, and electric, but it's 3 different companies. Whole bunch of things you can do. I hope some of these things help. If you need any additional help, one-on-one, sales coaching, business coaching, you want to implement call by call, you want to implement remote ride-alongs, I'm your guy. I'm Ken Pohl. Talk to you later.